Okay, guys, here are 7 reasons why your engagement is low right now, and I don't want you to take it personal. Okay, let's just say this out loud. Engagement is low right now. Your likes are down, the comments are quiet, and the stories feel like you're just posting into the void of social media. And before you start spiraling or think that it's you or your social media team, I want you to take into consideration these 7 things that I'm about to go over right now. All right, number one, social media is not new anymore. For people like me who've been using it for over 20 years, it hasn't been new for a long time. But you have to think what happened in 2020 that caused the social media boom, where all businesses realized that they needed to be on social media. Where before we were only fighting with millions of posts, we're now fighting with billions. There is more content per person out there right now than there ever has been before. And with the boom of AI and people being able to pump out content more quickly than ever before, we're seeing so much content and just a lot of noise out there. So that's reason number one. Social media has just become way more full of content. Number two, and this is the biggest one for me, is consumer behavior has changed. How we interact with social media has changed. Not only has the algorithm changed, yes, it absolutely has. And because of that, it's changing the way that we consume our social media and interact and engage. For example, on Instagram alone, you now can see what people are liking. You can now see if someone leaves a comment, like on your feed, you're seeing what your friends are doing. Not a lot of people like that. We don't want to be as visible as we once were. It didn't used to be visible. It used to be more private. So we want to keep that privacy of what we like and what we're commenting on. And we also have to be careful of who we're endorsing. I try to comment on a lot of my clients' accounts, but I don't ever want to just comment on, let's say, a dry cleaning business that has 10 other competitors if I don't necessarily support them. Or like maybe I have a client who's a dry cleaner. This is a really bad example. Let me do another one. Maybe I comment on a realtor's account, but I know I want to use and work with another realtor in the future. So I don't want this realtor to see that I'm commenting on this realtor's page. It can go for any sort of business. I work with a client right now. She is a commercial cleaning business and she cleans tons of corporate offices. A lot of those are car dealerships. If she is commenting and posting on one car dealership, she's going to feel like she has to post and comment on all the car dealerships that she's currently working with because we don't want anyone to get jealous or feel like they're not getting the attention they deserve. So what people are doing are just backing away, not commenting at all because they don't want to step on people's toes. They don't want to hurt people's feelings. And they also want that sense of privacy online. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean that engagement is down. It does not mean, please hear me on this, it does not mean that people are not consuming and watching your content because they are still there. All right, the third thing, and please hear this from the heart. Nobody cares about your business as much as you do. Nobody cares about my business as much as I do, whether it's employees, my parents, my niece and nephews, and definitely the people scrolling on social media do not care about your business as much as you do. We want the engagement for our business, absolutely. But consumers and the client on the other end of the phone are not going to care about your engagement. They are not going to care to like or comment just to help you out. Are there certain other entrepreneurs out there that will scratch your back, you scratch mine? Yes. But if they are liking and commenting on all of your posts and you're not doing the same for them, they might get a little resentful. And so it's just a messy web of how people are interacting and not interacting purposely to not step on toes and also to save themselves. People are only in it for themselves. So I want you to think about that and hear it from the heart that you are the only person who cares about your business engagement. Number 4 is not all the times true, but it is right now. And I say this because I do own a social media agency, and this is what we are doing. We are posting for several clients. We are engaging on their social medias. And I think it has become a known fact that most businesses right now are paying social media managers. They have a social media presence that's not actually run by them. And maybe that's what you say on your social media. If you know that you're the CEO of a company and you are the one answering all the DMs on your social media, say that. Make that very clear that you are the one doing that. I am not. If you send me a message, it's probably my team answering a lot of stuff. And if I can get to it, I absolutely will. It's just not a priority for me. I do try to look at the social media comments and DMs because I know it helps with the algorithm and I do want to connect with people. But when there's a flood of messages on there, sometimes it can be really hard to get to. I think this is why social media management is so important. I'm definitely more concerned with answering my clients' comments than I am mine. So there's that. But I think most business owners or people who are interacting with businesses also know that you probably have a social media manager and that they're not talking to you as the business owner. And if they are, it is important to let that be known. But either way, it doesn't matter. People are still consuming the content on social media, regardless of who's responding to the DMs. I just think that's important to know that a lot of people out there do know that somebody else is managing your content if you're a business owner. I think to go along with that, a lot of people think they're a business owner, they don't need my like. That a like isn't going to make a difference because really the only people focused on that engagement, the likes and the comments are your social media team running the analytics and really doing what we can to fit those puzzle pieces together and you as the business owner to see if there is an ROI. And right now those ROIs are not being tracked on engagement and like. All right, number 5 is just that there are so many more platforms now that people are posting on. And with AI, right now people can post their content on all the platforms. This is what we're doing for our clients. We post on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Twitter, Google My Business, Pinterest if they want it. I know I'm missing some others, LinkedIn, a blog, a newsletter, text blast communications. There are so many different ways to get your message out there. And with AI making that 10 times easier and easier than it's ever been before, there's just more content and more ways to get seen. And so now, whereas people knew, oh, I can go message them on Instagram because I know they're going to be on Instagram, or I'm going to go to TikTok because she's the most active on TikTok. With now people being omnipresent and being everywhere, which is a good thing, I think people don't really know where to message, or they're like, I'll just text or call. And then maybe they go to your website, or maybe they do book a consultation and you don't know that they were ever even lurking at your social media to begin with in the first place. And so a lot of times as social media managers, unless you're running ads, you're not going to be able to track that ROI for organic social media. Okay, number 6, and this is just the cold hard truth of how people are consuming. You've heard me talk about the social media highway, just scrolling so fast. If you have not studied how bad this is for your brain and that dopamine addiction, we are dopamine frying our brain when we're doing this. So bad for you. Please stop if you're doing that. Highly encourage you not to, but I want you to take some time to think people are just dopamine frying their brains. They're scrolling so fast. And this is why hooks matter. This is why visual hooks matter. This is why the audio matters. This is why there's so many things that go into putting together a great piece of content, where it's not like it used to be where I could just throw up something and it might perform. And yes, that still happens because a lot of times people do overthink their post. And they don't necessarily have to do that because it really is, to me, more about the consistency. But people are just scrolling so fast that they're not thinking about liking or engaging. They are not thinking about you as a business owner. And I feel like this is a little bit repetitive of what we have said, but it's the rapid rate. This is why number 6 is different. It's the rapid rate at how people are scrolling. People aren't sitting to read posts anymore, and they are over on Substack. So if you want to learn Substack, be sure to join my membership. We're going to be doing a full training on Substack, how to get started, what to post over there. And we are recommending Substack to some of our clients moving forward in 2026 because long form content is back for the people who don't want to dopamine fry their brains. For sure. I think it's a big shift moving forward in 2026. All right. And the reason your engagement is down, number 7, and the last on this list, is this time of year. We just finished the holidays and a lot of people are off of their phone over their holidays. They're spending more time with family and they're not consuming as much because they're busier and focused on holidays. And right now in January, a lot of people are taking a fast from social media. A lot of people are putting down their phones and trying to be more intentional with their time. A lot of people are deleting social media from their phones right now and being more intentional with their time on social media. And I am all for this. But I think as business owners, you need to know that January and February are pretty slow months for social media engagement because a lot of people's New Year's resolutions are to give up social media. And that is just the truth of the matter, but I think it's just good to know. And as a social media agency owner and somebody who has done this for over 20 years, this pattern never changes. It is the same every January, February, March typically picks back up because people are over it and ready to get back on social media, but a lot of people will not. I think more of the shift moving forward is more people are going to realize how burnt out they are from social media and a lot of this AI content and move towards some of these longer form content platforms. Okay, so hear me with this. Low engagement does not equal low impact. This is still okay for you because just because people aren't engaging doesn't mean that they aren't seeing your stuff. And it doesn't mean that they are not more brand aware of you and your business. Engagement is not the same as influence. Visibility still absolutely matters, and consistency is still the key across all the platforms, across everything that we do. People will still remember what they are not interacting with just because they saw it. Keep in mind that these social media platforms are not designed for businesses to grow. They are not designed to give you engagement. They are designed to keep people on their platforms longer. So these social media platforms, although they pretend like they have your best interest at heart, they do not, unless you're running massive money on paid ads. Then maybe they'll show you to more people, and that's about it. And that still doesn't convert to conversion or equal conversion sometimes unless you have a really good hooky ad. And so you don't have to pay as much money on ads, and maybe we'll do this in another podcast to get the type of conversion that you want. If you know and understand really good social media, you can spend less money on ads, but that definitely is at another time, another conversation. But just know that these social media platforms aren't out to get you, but they are out for themselves, and their goal is to keep people on their platform longer. So if you're seeing a bunch of content that you don't like, it's because other people do like it, and it's because other people are engaging with it, and the algorithm thinks you're going to like it as well. So here's what I suggest moving forward in 2026 to keep your engagement but your consistency at an all-time high. I want you to focus on your clear message to your client. Who are you talking to? This is something we are seeing, whether that is a specific demographic or an age group. If you are talking to first-time home buyers in their 30s, I want you to be really specific about that. That is what will stop the scroll. I want you to be very clear and on who you're talking to and what you're saying to them, because that will help at least stop the right people to consume your content. Start speaking directly to the people that need to hear your message. For me, that might be somebody who has never opened a TikTok account. Maybe they're scared to hop on TikTok, or maybe they really want to grow their LinkedIn presence and visibility this year. Maybe they just want to learn social media. That is who I'm going to be talking to in my content pillars on social media this year. And I need you to trust that silent engagement is still engagement. People are consuming and watching. And whether you see the ROI or not, if you quit posting on social media, I can promise you your business is going to feel a lot harder and more difficult. And the unfortunate truth of it is a lot of times when companies and businesses decide that they're getting rid of social media management, or they're not going to invest in the time and money on social media, their business just feels heavier. It feels harder, and they don't feel as supported. Whereas social media, although the likes, comments, and engagement and follows may be down, you still have that presence, that brand awareness is still there. And you never know when something might go viral and really pop off for more people to see you, which isn't always a good thing. Let's use this for an example. If we have a client hit 3 million views on a video and they get a ton of new followers, just because we did a trending video, it doesn't necessarily that's turning into money and ROI for the business. And then the next 6 to 9 months, the numbers look really bad if we don't hit another 3 million view. To me, it's more important to stay consistent. I think about this all the time. When did 200 views become a low view? I think we measure all the time. People are saying, get out of 200 view jail, get out of 200 view jail. Well, what's wrong with 200 people seeing your post? Absolutely nothing. I think we have to start celebrating the small wins, and we have to reframe our mind to be like, oh my gosh, 200 people saw my post today. That is amazing. Dear God, please let somebody out of that 200 be the right client for me today. And so it's all about how you reframe your mind. So that's it for this episode on why your engagement might be down. And no, it's not your fault. It's literally just the world that we live in right now. If you have any questions, be sure to ask them because I would love to answer them on the next podcast.